Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. Getting the price of XRP up is a tricky endeavor. Many different factors have to kind of fall into place before we see real-world utility take shape, and this is happening in so many different forms, guys. I happen to see this from Mr. Man, two Ripple partners. These are old-school Ripple partners as well from, I believe, before 2020. They include American Express and WorldPay. They are now coming together to enable real-time cross-border payments. So, in the past, we were really seeing Ripple gunning for these primary partnerships. But now, as the years have gone on, we've seen secondary and tertiary partnerships forming. Here's another example of that. Small businesses to benefit from streamlined services replacing the previous setup where retailers had to manage separate Amex accounts. Now we're seeing companies like American Express and WorldPay, two Ripple partners, coming together using their resources to create a better ecosystem for payments. So MasterCard and payment solution company WorldPay, they've just signed a new agreement. The aim is to make it easier for small businesses and welcome loyal, high-spending American Express card members. The agreement is part of a continued strategic approach by American Express to fuel the company's momentum in the UK and expand the number of locations where its card members can spend. In the UK, the total of Amex accepting locations has grown by 46% over the last 3 years. So that is good news there for Amex cardholders. Notice too that they're also targeting Amex cardholders in the UK specifically for this partnership. WorldPay is a long-standing partner for American Express. The new arrangement gives small businesses other options to accept Amex card payments. By adding American Express as a payment choice, small businesses can capture more spend and enhance their checkout experience. By doing more research, here's what they noticed here. Amex card members, they tend to spend 3.9 times more annually and 3.2 times more frequently than non-card members. So, when you add up all those transactions, that generally does mean more volume for payments. And if these payments, in a lot of cases, the domestic payments, not so sticky, but if we're assuming that these could be transactions that cross borders, well, that's where the friction lies, and that's where these Ripple-enabled partnerships will really thrive. So, I'm happy to see this. This is going to drive more utility to the XRP ledger. And overall, it's going to give everybody a better experience once we do see this system roll out in a meaningful capacity, right? Because even if we are hearing about these partnerships right now, it's not like everything is scaling right boom at this moment, right? We still have to wait for that rollout and that ramp up. Nevertheless, great news coming from Mr. Man. Wanted to thank him for posting that. The Wrath of Kahneman also bringing this up now. I talked a little bit about this yesterday, but we've got more news here with regards to the Ripple and PeerSys partnership. They're going to be leveraging EVM OS to further develop and enhance the XRP ledger with EVM sidechain. So this is going to give more options for developers and for companies to be using the XRP ledger. The XRPL EVM sidechain will be built leveraging EVM OS, a modular and customizable tech stack offered by EVMOS, I guess we'll call them. EVM OS enables EVM compatibility and fully customizability on top of the Cosmos SDK. It brings access to over 60 Cosmos SDK chains via the Inter-Blockchain Communication Protocol, or the IBC. Powered by the EVM OS, the XRPL EVM sidechain aligns with industry standards and joins one of the most versatile Web3 ecosystems, the Interchain. So guys, more flexibility, more customability, more interoperability. This is the name of the game. And, all these extensions that are going to be able to tap into the XRPL. This is just going to breed more XRP utility as we see, more chains become interoperable with the XRP ledger. So here's some more information about that. XRPL enters the Interchain. Bringing the XRPL into the Interchain means connecting its vast community with users, dApps, and liquidity to a network of over 90 interconnected chains. So 90 chains now tapping into the XRPL. As one of the pioneering layer ones in the blockchain space, the XRPL has established a mature community, which is good for us. The Interchain has become a vibrant and dynamic network, fostering synergy among diverse blockchain projects. The XRPL community now gains a passport to all Cosmos SDK chains, allowing its users to seamlessly interact with any application they need. So guys, interoperability, the name of the game, looking to tap into the Ethereum virtual machine and Cosmos. So now a lot more use cases will be able to interact with the XRP ledger. So some great news there, some more great detailed news. Wrath of Kahneman also commenting, they call out two interesting things in their thread: XRP liquidity as an advantage and EVM grants. So more building, I guess. The liquidity too is good for the whole ecosystem. XRPL has 27B USD market cap that will connect to the Interchain over IBC, and then funding first $5 million in US grants on the XRPL EVM chain. I guess as more information comes out, I will be reporting on that. So wanted to thank Wrath of Kahneman just for bringing that to our attention. Another great one here from the Wrath of Kahneman. This one has to do with Ripple partner Modular. IREs and Modular are accelerating payment innovation. Check this out. In the evolving landscape, I'm just going to boost that up. In the evolving landscape of digital finance, the demand for instant, reliable payment solutions is undeniable. IRE's partnership with Modular Finance is a pivotal development in meeting this demand, offering fintech platforms the ability to streamline payments and financial services like never before. So Modular has that partnership with Ripple, and now they're integrating with IRE. Modular, they're at the forefront of the payment innovation sector, providing an API-first approach to payment infrastructure. This integration with IREs empowers fintech clients to leverage Modular's capabilities, including instant payments, scalable accounts, and comprehensive payment controls directly within their platform. So they are obviously seeing a benefit to this. But ultimately, they want to be able to navigate the future of digital payments. So our joint effort with Modular Finance signifies a commitment to advancing the fintech ecosystem. All these companies, guys, don't want to be left behind. They want to be at the cutting edge of tech. And so they tend to find, ways to do that, whether it's through a partnership or integrating with RippleNet directly. For example, by integrating Modular's advanced payment infrastructure, IRES ensures fintech platforms are equipped to face the future of finance, ready to embrace innovation and drive user engagement. So step into the future of fintech with this cutting-edge payment solution, yada, yada. You can download the PDF here, all to just say that Ripple partners are continuing to make partnerships worldwide. In this case, Modular and IRES, they're based in the UK. And this partnership does seem to be EU-focused, including that SEPA integration. Wrath of Kahneman here, also just including some supporting material for reference if you guys care to read further. So I will link this tweet in the description of the video. In recent days, we've been hearing a lot too about Tether and how, perhaps the Ripple stablecoin is going to be quite a competitor to, in the stablecoin landscape for, utility. And when we coincide that, if XRP runs alongside a Ripple stablecoin, well, could that change the game? Will that be the powerhouse that really kind of pushes adoption forward for a lot of these banks and institutions that are already Ripple-enabled, one, but also are realizing, okay, if there's a stablecoin that is regulated that we can use, we can really supercharge our business. Well, Michael Branch brought this to my attention. Tether has long played financial shell games to keep its dollar stablecoin USDT up and running. This is a bit of a negative slant on Tether, I gotta say. And I don't really like when I see articles that are too critical or too uncritical one way or the other. This, though, I wanted to bring up because a lot of people have been already talking about this. You guys probably already know about Tether USDT. And, there's been a lot of talk in the space how Tether's going to collapse. It's a shell company. They're not on the up and up. They're shady, for whatever reason. So this article is just pretty much, and I will link it in the description if you guys want to read it, but pretty much giving you guys reasons, okay? Use cases for Tether, North Korea, Hamas, Russia, so evading sanctions. Pretty much this is what this is saying, what it's talking about. A Liberty Reserve. Liberty Reserve was a digital currency service run out of Costa Rica, active from 2006 to 2013. It issued dollar-backed liability called LR. These were just entries into a ledger at Liberty Reserve. Everything was centralized, but otherwise LR worked just like a stablecoin. So it is kind of acting like that. They also mentioned Liberty Reserve Jr. down here. And again, I will link this in the description of the video for you guys if you want to read in detail. Here are some more facts, though, about Tether. Tether is not very linked to the US. None of its principals are US citizens. The company is registered in the British Virgin Islands. The CEO lives in El Salvador. Tether's main bank is Deltec Bank in the Bahamas. A major owner is based in Thailand. So you can see Tether is all over the map, except for in the United States. They operated under the radar for years. By 2017, federal enforcement agencies were too busy tackling the ICO boom to take notice, so Tether grew unchecked. In 2018, the New York Attorney General charged Tether and its crypto exchange sibling Bitfinex with fraud when they tried to cover up $850 million in missing reserves. The company settled in February 2021 for $18.5 million, a small slap on the wrist. In the process of investigating Tether and Bitfinex, the NYAG accumulated quite a lot of dirt on the companies. You might think they would have passed this pile of evidence to the feds with a bow on top, and they did try. But as we're seeing today, guys, Tether is still operating in the world under the nose of U.S. authorities, and they're even touting that they have been, working with Russia, for example. I know there was one article out there talking about Russia. Brad Garlinghouse was even saying, Ripple is going to use Tether in the interim for certain transactions that are not occurring in the United States. So, they have a lot of clout. But at this point, we're wondering what's going to happen next, right? So Binance already learned from this lesson after supplying services to Iran. They had to settle fines of more than $4 billion for violating the BSA, money transmitter laws, and the IEEPA. Former Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao was sentenced to 4 months in prison. Binance is getting a monitor. We expect something similar to happen to Tether: large fines, compliance requirements, and the possibility of jail time for Tether principals. If the heat gets too much, Tether might try to unwind the entire fund and shut down. The tricky parts will be how to do this while keeping as much of the money as possible, and how to realize and return the dollar value of what reserves actually exist in any tangible sense. But most importantly, they have to not unduly upset any of the more demanding sort of Tether customers who know where they live. So a bit, like I said, a bit of an ominous article, a bit of a cautionary article, a bit of a doom and gloom for Tether. And I don't know how you feel about Tether, or if you have an opinion, or if you should have an opinion. I mean, at the end of the day, stablecoins in the US, that is really what's going to affect most of us. And that is really where the crypto market is going. We're going to see real world utility from real world cryptocurrencies. I think that's going to be starting with stablecoins. So this is why, Ripple is getting their ducks in a row and has started development on their stablecoin. They're probably already in the midst of it. They probably haven't just started. When it was announced, they're probably already halfway through, or maybe even further. So former speaker Paul Ryan's comments on stablecoins, this I think should resonate for a lot of you crypto traders, especially if you live in the United States. Listen to this.
I guess the question is, what could you do now, knowing we have debt problems in the future? I think there's a couple of things Congress could do. They're not, but maybe they'll get something done. I think stablecoin legislation would be a good step in the right direction. That could be helpful. That could be done this year, but I don't see anything other than that on the horizon.
Let's talk about stablecoin, because I've heard you say that actually getting legislation on that could help treasury auctions. And when you said it, I said, what's the connection there? Take our audience through that connection.
Yeah, so stablecoins, which are digital private sector dollar-backed currencies. It's not crypto because it's tethered to the US dollar. They have to have dollar-backed assets. They have to have treasuries or cash to back those stable coins. There's not a law that governs these right now, so they aren't really deployed. But if you actually have a law, which Patrick McHenry and Chair Waters, Maxine Waters and Patrick McHenry are putting a deal together. Schumer is in talks with them. I think there's a reasonable chance they could get a deal on stablecoin legislation. That means you have a legal framework in which you have stablecoins deployed. You'd go from a couple $100 billion of stablecoins to, maybe trillions. Right now, stablecoins are like the 16th largest buyer of bonds, bills, and notes among all sovereigns. If you actually regulate stablecoins and have them deployed, that does two things. That gets the US dollar more deeply ingrained in the oncoming digitization of currencies. That's a good thing. And you create new consumers' demand for our bonds, because they have to have those to back up the stablecoins. So more demand for treasuries, more use of a digital dollar throughout the system to help better entrench the dollar. It's a win-win situation for America. I think it's a no-brainer. I'm hopeful, cautiously optimistic Congress might do that this year still. There are good talks happening. And that's one thing you could do on the margin to try and, improve demand for our bonds and improve dollar.
So stablecoins could actually help the entire U.S. economy. Nick Carter, who posted this, did comment down here. First of all, he mentioned stablecoins unprompted in response to a question about how Congress can deal with debt. This is pretty interesting. The first thing he thinks about is stablecoins. Second, he's repeating industry points verbatim, which is pretty cool. I'm pretty sure that stables, if considered a sovereign, are the 16th largest buyer of treasuries, and that traces back to my Missouri mainnet talk. Third, this is Paul Ryan, former House Speaker, not some junior pro-crypto representative. The fact that someone of his stature is willing to openly say that stablecoins are a potential solution to the debt is quite remarkable and represents a considerable tonal shift. So yeah, I mean, if it helps the U.S. economy, stablecoin regulation, it is a no-brainer, as Paul Ryan does say here. It's a win-win. Everybody wins. US dollar dominance is supported. The crypto market is supported. So everybody wins. Why isn't this being hammered out sooner rather than later? I think this is why Congress is taking, the opportunity to really kind of focus on stablecoins, though instead of the rest of the market, instead of trying to go after any individual cryptocurrency. Once stablecoins are regulated, I think that is going to be half the battle, for lack of a better term. So anyway, wanted to thank Nick Carter there for pointing that out. Now, with stablecoins, guys, got to remember Ripple is creating theirs. That is going to drive more crypto liquidity and more crypto utility. This is Ripple's very own Jazzy Cooper. This is coming from Andrew here on Twitter. She made a jaw-dropping statement at Stable Summit about interoperability when it comes to decentralized exchange usage. The XRPL has all the functionalities of these real-world exchanges and more. So when you think about that and what Jazzy Cooper here says, it really gets you wondering.
Arguably, you don't need dozens of DEXs. You know, there are dozens of DEXs on each chain, and as someone was mentioning before, when a new chain starts, that chain now needs a DEX, which doesn't necessarily make sense. I mean, if you look at traditional financial markets, there's 2 major exchanges in the US, there's maybe 10 major exchanges globally. And so why do we have over 60 DEXs in the crypto space? So I think true multi-chain interoperability will allow for specialization. And if you are, let's say, a gamer on Polygon and you need to access a different token in order to make a purchase, you can use cross-chain routers and technology to execute your swap in order to purchase your asset, and that'll be routed to another chain, execute there for the best possible price, least amount of slippage, and then those funds and your destination token will basically land back in your wallet without the user ever knowing that their trade executed on a different blockchain. So that's the type of kind of user experience improvements that we need to see in the trading realm, and some of the infrastructure and interoperability players will truly unlock.
We only need one DEX, or just maybe a handful. We don't need 60 different decentralized exchanges. And so Jazzy Cooper does work for Ripple. Obviously, the XRP ledger is a decentralized exchange, always has been and always will be. So I guess what she's saying is, we can use something like the XRP ledger for all this money, for all this activity, liquid markets. They'll go through the XRP ledger, thus using XRP, thus creating more demand for the XRP cryptocurrency. And we're seeing other Ripple employees coming out saying similar things as I guess we're seeing this market mature. Everything computes via tokens. Everyone transacts via tokens. This is coming from Oliver Segovia. He's head of Ripple's payments marketing. So, when we have the head saying something like this, what does that get you thinking? Okay, Ripple's master plan, how tokenization could boost XRP to new heights. This succinct statement might provide some insight into how Ripple plans to develop its business model and how XRP fits into the digital economy. According to Segovia, tokenization of assets is a key component of the payments and future of Ripple. Through its emphasis on the global character of token transactions, Segovia draws attention to the revolutionary potential of blockchain technology and digital assets such as XRP. This dedication represents a strategic course for Ripple rather than merely a temporary fad. So as we're seeing these Ripple employees really kind of bolster this idea of interoperability on the XRP ledger, the tokenization of everything, really kind of focusing on the fact that, this world is changing, focus is now pivoting, Ripple is making waves, the XRP ledger is seeing more developments. Guys, all things lead back to one road, XRP being that native cryptocurrency to move the tokenization projects, to move the money for transactions, all these different things, for NFTs, whatever the concept is, XRP can be that lubricant to move it over the XRP ledger because it does succeed at so many things. And guys, these are just facts. 10 key reasons why I hold XRP. According to Good Morning Crypto here, now he was retweeting out this David Schwartz tweet from last year. XRP and the XRP ledger really are what you see is what you get. If you're imagining that there's something massively secret behind the scenes, you're imagining things. Here's what we see, guys. So this is what we're going to get. It is an efficient gas token over the XRP ledger. It's valuable for auto bridging, key player in DeFi, so liquidity pools, Flare F assets, and more. Store of value potential, prevents ledger spam efficiently. Also, swift payment settlement. Helps reduce or eliminate Nostro and Vostro accounts. That was the first use case that Ripple focused on. Eco-friendly and low-carbon footprint, also very important for this WEF ideology. Ideal micropayment solution and also offers low transaction fees. XRP is built to change the world, but the expectation of replacing everything in global finance overnight sets the average investor up for disappointment. So don't be disappointed, guys. It's time to hodl. That's the easiest part. You just have to hodl and do nothing. until XRP reaches those exorbitant heights and maybe accumulate in the meantime if you guys feel like you don't have enough. If you want to see my strategy, I'm available over there at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel, and I've kept it affordable, only $5 a month, to follow my trading journey, to see what I'm going to be doing with my XRP and my other altcoins too. Follow me if you want, guys, and please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.